My thought on, I think Cam goes high road there, and about the hits. It's obvious, fellas, that his teammates are saying a key phrase, and I think as a guy that played the position, Tim Housebeck, treat him like a quarterback. I think that's a reasonable thing to say. I think he's so big and he moves so much that he gets blasted, and that flags don't get thrown nearly as often for him as they would for other quarterbacks. Do you think that's reasonable?
Well, I think the officials are insanely inconsistent on how they call it. And so it sounded like somebody kind of had it charted how many times he took a shot in the head, and they had it at 4 with 1 being called. And I know that we've run some B-roll on the show tonight where he got hit a couple times and it wasn't called. So, listen, I will say this. I don't think it just applies to Cam in terms of it not being consistent.
Right.
But I will say because of kind of how he plays, and so sometimes he has moved out of the pocket a little bit. Listen, it's a fast game with elite athletes moving around. And I think officials, once that happens, are even more inconsistent.
I think we'd be naive to not really pay attention to the fact that because of how Cam plays, because of his size, because of his stature, because of his uniqueness, that sometimes we think it's just a part of his, that not we, I would say that officials think it's just a part of his game. If he gets hit hard, he bounces back up. Kind of, you know what, like the legality of the hit kind of almost becomes secondary. I think they almost expect this guy to be so superhuman that sometimes they kind of miss the fact that they're really supposed to be out there protecting him, and they're supposed to be making these calls because, look, if we can see him, if we can, and I know the game is fast, Tim, and I know the game is fast, but at the same time, look,
you guys played it, I did.
You can tell when someone's getting knocked in the head. You can tell Darian Stewart hit him clean in the head. You could tell on the sack that he got knocked out of the game for a minute where he got his back contorted. You can see Von Miller and his face mask hit. You can hear that kind of stuff happen. Yeah. You can see that kind of stuff happen.
Listen, the face mask call on Khalil, where he dumps it off, I forget if it was Stewart or Tolbert, who it was, when he dumps the football off, he's running towards the line of scrimmage, and he gets hit square in the face, I mean, with the top of somebody's helmet. I mean, and there's no flag for that. In fact, Carolina's penalized for the face mask on Khalil.